Hi, my name is Pluma Quadras. Welcome back to yet another episode of Business Headlines on India Roundup. Hope you enjoy this episode too. Reserve Bank of India imposed a 2 crore rupee penalty on Standard Chartered Bank. Standard Chartered Bank has been slapped with a 2 crore rupee fine for delaying to report frauds to the Reserve Bank of India. The penalty has been imposed for delays in reporting frauds and not complying with the directions contained in the Reserve Bank of India Directions 2016. Standard Chartered has been issued with a notice advising it to show cause as to why the penalty should not be imposed for the non-compliance of directions. The central bank noted that this action is based on the deficiencies in regulatory compliance and is not intended to pronounce upon the validity of any transactions or agreement entered into by the bank with its customers. The report shows majority of car buyers in India open up to subscription-based vehicle ownership. Due to the coronavirus pandemic, a large percentage of potential car buyers in India are now open to a subscription-based vehicle ownership, according to a study by Deloitte. According to this study, 81% of Indian consumers have a strong inclination towards connected cars that come with the added convenience of smartphone connectivity. 69% of Indian consumers, the highest among global consumers, are interested in a subscription that allows access to different models from the same brand. Rajiv Singh, Deloitte India partner and automotive leader, said that the automotive industry took the COVID-19 pandemic as an opportunity to open up a new world of possibilities. During September till October 2020, Deloitte had surveyed over 24,000 consumers in 23 countries to explore opinions regarding a variety of crucial issues affecting the automotive sector, including the development of advanced technologies. Opening of India-Africa Trade Council in India. The India-Africa Trade Council was inaugurated at the Crown Plaza, Chennai, for the purpose of scaling up business relations between both the countries of India and the African region. There is now a huge interest in India as the emerging region of Africa has great scope for multilateral business opportunities. The council was inaugurated by Nagma Malik, Additional Secretary Africa, Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India, and Dr. Tizita Mulugeta Yimam, Ambassador of Ethiopia in India. The opening of the India-Africa Trade Council and 13 trade offices in metro cities in India will facilitate Indian businessmen waiting to do trade in African countries and will work directly with embassies in Delhi. Report shows India Inc. on recovery path. 53% of companies to raise headcount in 2021. Although hiring in India declined last year owing to the pandemic, a sudden increase in demand seems imminent, with about 53% of companies stating their intentions to increase headcounts in 2021, according to a survey by professional recruitment service firm Michael Page, India's Talent Trends 2021 report. According to this report, the hiring dip was about 18% in 2020. Nicholas Dumoulin, managing director at Michael Page India, said that technology and healthcare sectors witnessed significant activity even during the lockdown phase, given the sudden increase in demand for relevant talent across functions. The healthcare sector is expected to witness the largest percentage rise in salary at an average increase of 8%, followed by the fast-moving consumer goods, e-commerce, and internet services. Desi Startup Alliance seeks data audit of WhatsApp and Facebook. Atmanirbhar Digital India Foundation, in short ADIF, has written to the government saying it should conduct a data audit of WhatsApp and its parent firm Facebook. The newly formed Indian alliance says it wants to audit the data flowing outside the country. The ADIF was formed with the purpose of fighting firms like Facebook and Google to create a level playing field for Indian startups. Formed by local entrepreneurs and investors, it is also looking at associating with the government on regulatory and legal aspects of policy making with the increased competition from major US firms. UK's Kane Energy PLC says engaged with Indian government on adherence on arbitration award. On Wednesday, Kane said that it is engaged with the Indian government on the implementation of the ruling awarded by The Hague. This ruling has ordered India to return $1.2 billion to the company after a three-member tribunal comprising of a judge appointed by India overturned a 10,247 crore rupee retrospective tax demand on the British oil and gas company. The Indian government is asked to return the shares it sold, dividends it has seized, and tax refund it stopped to enforce the tax collection. This is the second defeat for the government after UK's Vodafone Group won an international arbitration against the demand of 22,100 crore rupees in taxes last September. Government Startup Council taps big names. After notifying the National Startup Advisory Council to boost the startup ecosystem and address current issues, the government has appointed 28 non-official members to the council for 2 years or until further orders. Among these 28 are big names such as Baiju Ravindran of Byju's, Abhiraj Singh of Urban Company, Bhavish Agarwal of Ola, Sanjeev Bikhchandani of Info Edge, and this council will focus on reducing costs associated with regulatory compliance, enable easier access to capital, keep control of startups with original promoters, and provide the Indian startups with an access to global markets. Ditching WhatsApp, only 18% Indian users may continue, 36% to reduce usage drastically, says survey. WhatsApp witnessed a decrease in downloads from 2 million earlier this month to 1.3 million between January 6th to 10th, and Signal's Indian app download went up to 2.3 million from 24,000 in the same time. Since WhatsApp announced updating its privacy policy earlier in January, several individuals and businesses are seeking to stop using WhatsApp and switch to alternatives such as Signal and Telegram. In its biggest market, only 18% of users said that they are likely to continue using WhatsApp. WhatsApp has clarified that the privacy policy does not affect the privacy of your messages with friends or family in any way. Flipkart introduces Supercoin Pay. Customers will now be able to pay up to 100% of the bill value across 5,000 partner stores online or offline using only Supercoins they've earned on Flipkart. All benefits can be accessed by simply scanning a QR code at the partner store using the Flipkart app. The list of stores and partner brands is available on the Flipkart app under Rewards Store in the Supercoin section. Flipkart partners to enjoy the benefits of Flipkart's 300 million customer base through an integrated rewards initiative. Customers will be able to pay across health and wellness, food and beverage, travel, grocery, and fashion retail outlets through Supercoins. Government working with SBI to launch e-commerce portal for micro, small, and medium enterprises to take on Amazon, Flipkart, and others. The MSME Ministry is currently working with the State Bank of India to set up and launch the e-commerce portal for MSMEs that will help market and sell products in India and platforms similar to Amazon and Alibaba. Nitin Gadkari had said in a webinar, the e-commerce portal called Bharat Craft has been in the works since its announcement in mid-2019. The government already has an e-marketplace to help MSMEs sell to government organizations and has been reportedly planning to open up for private businesses to buy as well. With the increasing internet user base and favorable market conditions, India's e-commerce market is expected to grow from $84 billion this year to $188 billion by 2025.
India, incredible India.
Thank you for watching today's episode. Do share your feedback in the comments below. Stay safe and see you again next week.